Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you guys. Come on in. It is Tuesday. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Jump on in, grab your coffee. I've got my water. What do I have in my water today? I think it's my aminos. Good to see you guys. All right, so here we go. It's almost Christmas. Is everybody doing good? We doing good? I'd love to know. Let me know if you're on the replay. And where you're coming in from, I would love to hear that. We have actually been doing this morning show for almost 2 years straight now. So Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, we go live and we talk about insulin resistance and how you can turn that around so that you can literally just take back your life. Like, this is so freaking ridiculous. It's so ridiculous that we are basically told that, your only answer are scripts for the rest of your life with all of the side effects. That's not okay. Good morning, Marilyn from New York. Good to see you. Anyway, I just do not buy this conversation at all. So we do things differently around here. We talk about food ingredient trade outs, and we're going to kind of like specialize on that just a tiny little bit today. And we talk a lot about targeted supplementation because if you can get your inside systems running just like you do for your car, you can actually have it deliver you different results. And so you guys inspire me every freaking day with the results that you get. It's amazing. It's amazing. So this is kind of what I wanted to do today. I was very inspired because I am going to do, you guys, I talked to you about this yesterday and everybody was like, yes, let's do this. So this Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, we are going to go live on a webinar, on a Zoom, not in a Facebook group. So you have to sign up for this one. I know that during, like in general, like we do the 5-day challenges that are free inside of the Facebook group and you don't have to sign up for nothing. This one you have to sign up for because this is the way that I can, like, we can just have our own little private environment. And we can chit chat and I can answer questions about things that maybe, sometimes I'm super coded on here, right? We got to be a little careful. So I'm going to show you how to sign up for that if you want to do that. We are going to do the total body reset and I'm going to be able to ask questions, but I'm going to do a keto lasagna on the live. And I want to be able to bring to you guys thought process around food. And so we're going to start that kind of today, but then you can also sign up. So if you do not know, let's see here. I'm going to put my website here because then you guys can go sign up. Oopsie. There we go. Right there. Okay. So my website right there on Facebook and YouTube is right there. KirstenLiebelt.com. Okay. So for you people on Instagram, you wonderful people, you amazing humans, you can screenshot that and flip it around if it's backwards, or if it's forwards, you can screenshot that and then not flip it. I speak with such profundity. Anyway, so here is the site right there. Because we get a V every day anyway, so who cares? Anyway, so when you go there, you'll see my face. And then right here is the form. It's right here. Super simple. Super simple. And you just put name, email, submit. There's a little submit button right there. And this will kind of just give you the details, like doing it at, 11 o'clock. Basically, this is what it says. Total Body Reset Live plus Keto Lasagna Demo. Learn why your body may be stuck and how to eat in a way that actually works. Saturday, December 20th, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, live on Zoom. Join me live as I break down the Total Body Reset, the simple system I use to help women, you guys, and your amazing testimonies, turn around insulin resistance, burn fat, and feel better in their bodies again. Like, this is just such an amazing stream of testimonies. Then we'll head into the kitchen and make a keto lasagna so you can see the real life side of this lifestyle, because we're not looking for perfection or deprivation, ladies, are we? No, we are not. So it's kind of education and implementation in 1 hour. And the possibility of it going longer will only be because if you guys are asking questions and you guys want to hang out longer, but otherwise we'll do that within the hour. So Marilyn says she'll be signing up. Sounds like a great dish. I know. Yumola, right? It is backwards to you. Thank you for telling me. Yeah, it depends on which thing I'm holding it up to. So I think on Facebook it would be forward. Would this be forward for you guys? I don't know. It's so interesting that it works that way. But anyway, it's all good. Welcome in, everybody on TikTok. Come on in. Come on in. Grab your coffee and your tea, whatever you're doing. Good morning, Patty, sweet lady. Good morning, friend Megda. Good morning, Sue. Everybody's here. Okay, so I kind of want to give you a little bit of a mindset rundown with some actual examples of food thought process. Okay. I feel like this is a really, really important time right now. I know that for me, my mind has now very much turned towards what am I making for Christmas? What am I bringing for Christmas? I have parties that are really coming up. I haven't had a lot of parties so far. So for me, it's very much like, a couple of days after Christmas, I have a party, and then there's a New Year's party, and then so this is kind of our crunch time, right? And I want to make sure that anybody who just feels like they don't know, Jody says, good morning and almost 40 degrees. Hallelujah. I know I'm going to go for a walk today. I'm so excited. I'm in Minnesota and it was like 15 below last week, you guys. 15 below on Saturday and now it's 40. So we celebrate. I'm not going to put on my shorts and a t-shirt, but I am going to get out there. So it is forward on Facebook. Isn't that crazy, Patty? It looks backwards on all of them to me, but it flips it for you guys. That's really interesting. So let's just dive in and chat just a tiny bit about a little bit of food mindset, okay? Because I feel like this is something that other people, I'm going to be really honest, I just don't think that other people are offering this type of a thought process. And I don't mean that in any way other than I'm only just giving you what's inside of my head. Because when I took my journey, so I was a 2X in size when I hit my 50s. My dad had already died of type 2 diabetes when I was 30. So for 20 years after he died, I still didn't do anything. I was really like, not going to happen. And then when I hit my 50s and I'm a 2X, et cetera, I'm like, I need to deal with my sugars. There was a whole piece of that puzzle with my mom and she wouldn't leave me alone. And that was very beneficial for me. But when I did actually start to trade out my foods, I had to really dissect my own world. And I always want to share that with you because I assume that if I'm dissecting my world, you're dissecting your world. Let's just be honest. So this isn't all just about, basic tips, which I can give you too, but I want you to have more of a mindset towards, listen, we do this journey without shame. Number one, I started my supplementation food ingredient trade out timing during the Christmas season. This was it for me. How about you? Right? Sometimes we think, oh, throw in the towel. It's Christmas and I'll just talk about it in January. That's not what I did. And that's not what a lot of you have done. If with that mentality, we are sure to fail. We are sure to set ourselves up for self-sabotage because trust me, by the time January 1 hits, you feel like trash. Ola. And you feel like you are so far behind the 8 ball that your willpower gets you through about 48 hours, right? So we don't want to do that. So let's just change the narrative. Let's change the conversation and let's do actual real internal work and real tips that can move you forward. Let's do that. That's kind of maybe a little bit more about what I'm interested in. So let me grab my live here. Hold on. Okay, so so it's kind of like how do you prepare for any kind of a social event that you have going on and doing it without any shame, doing it without your total restrictions and you're beating yourself up and you wake up the next morning and you think, did I do good? Did I not do good? You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to mess with that at all. It's not about rules. It's not about pretending that, we don't care about food. It's not about thinking, okay, well, all of a sudden now I'm just not a foodie anymore. No, that's not what this is about. I'm Italian. What do you think the chances are that I'm not a foodie anymore? Come on. It was like in my DNA. I think it was born in my blood. On my birth certificate, it said Kirsten Fergali. My maiden name is Fergali. Kirsten Fergali, foodie. I mean, it was just, this is how it was. We celebrated with food. We mourned with food, right? So we don't pretend that we don't care about food, but we have a plan. simple plan for you. So I'll give you some of my stuff. You adopt it or create your own. Okay. So this is all about you and customizing for yourself. But you have a plan so you can walk into a social event thinking, I'm going to be okay. I'm actually going to be okay. And I'm actually going to do both. I'm going to be okay and really enjoy my night. Like I'm going to be present. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to laugh hard. I'm going to really enjoy the company of the people that I get to hang with. On New Year's Eve, we'll have a big business team gathering. And it's just, they are the people that I wanted my kids to hang out with. They are the people that make me laugh the most. But I'm going to tell you, they're going to bring bad food. They're going to bring all of the goodies, right? And so anyway, so here we go. The goal of the holiday is not perfection. It's not spiraling. You don't have to spiral. So that's why we're going to grab Saturday morning. We're going to seize Saturday morning right before Christmas. Just give you a little bit of help. Get your mind thinking about a few other things, right? And then we're just going to like take it through the end of the year. Okay. So most advice is focused, like on what to avoid and all of that stuff. I want to talk about what to have ready. I want to talk about what to like help your nervous system with, your blood sugar feel safe. Like how can you navigate a holiday gathering and not totally crash out and feel like trash, right? Okay. So prep is not cheating. Being prepared is not cheating. It's literally your own self-respect. Okay. So preparing is not cheating. I don't go into a social event hungry, depleted, or stressed anymore. I let that go a long time ago. The version of me always overdid it. That version of me where I was saving up for that moment. I was, whatever, just stressed for whatever reason. Sometimes we even just have plain social anxiety. Some of us are like, we don't want it. That it's really not me. I don't feel like I have any of that, to be really honest. I don't. But sometimes we might feel that way. And so then we, feel like we're just going to eat our way through the evening or whatever, because we feel beholden to be there. That's not me, but it might be somebody. But what this looks like in real life. So eating protein beforehand, and it could be a protein shake if you need it to be, right? I have a grass-fed whey protein that has stevia in it. And that's something that I have very much regularly. I quick shake that up, maybe even drink it on the way there, because now I'm stable. Now, whatever happens, I'm stable. I've laid a foundation. I feel good. Okay. So you could do that, but eating protein beforehand, that doesn't spike your sugars, knowing that there's food waiting at home. So regularly I have done the holidays. Remember, I told you in the past that it took me like 3 to 4 Christmas seasons to really get everything down. I did it just a little bit at a time, year after year. Listen, ladies, that time was going to pass anyway. I was going to wake up and it was going to be 5 years later anyway. Why not, without any shame whatsoever, take one holiday season at a time, at a time, at a time? So what I would do is I would find a recipe, and I actually haven't done it this year. This is kind of interesting. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. Doesn't matter. But having like one year I made a keto pumpkin cheesecake roll. I can't find the recipe. I know somebody's going to ask me for the recipe. It's somewhere out there in probably All Day I Dream About Food land, or I'm not sure. But I would have something like that and I'd have it ready in my refrigerator. Okay. Because then it didn't matter what was being offered, because that was something I loved. Right. So I would have something waiting for me at home. And I would just remember that. Oh, yeah, you got something waiting at home. Okay. Anyway, having something in my purse, I've talked about this before. I'm the person who's going to have like a Lily's bar in my purse. Or, well, that is Lily's bar too. And I like Lily's white chocolate. It's kind of naughty. The ingredients aren't perfectly clean. That would not be Maria Emmerich approved. But I like something really, really sweet. Now, that's not wisdom. I'm not saying. I'm just telling you that's how it's been my whole life. I like things really sweet. So, but having a piece of something just available. It's just nice to know it's there. And then I usually do eat it, but bringing something that I can eat, right? So we talked about that before. So that thought process, that's not weakness, that's maturity, right? Like we don't like whatever. Susan says that's so smart. Oh, just yes. I mean, I have gone to a dinner theater, a very nice dinner theater evening, knowing that they're going to serve the most amazing desserts ever. Oh my gosh. They do like a show, it's an off-Broadway show and then dinner and amazing desserts. That's when I have a Lily's bar in my purse for sure. Cause I'm like, yeah, that temptation is kind of a lot. Either that or I've gotten to the point now, and you may not feel like you're there yet. So don't even worry about it. No big deal. Where I'll just even take a bite of something that my husband has. And I'm like, oh, okay, yep, that does taste good, whatever. But I don't have the need to eat the whole thing anymore. Okay. So I'm just telling you where I am and where I've come from. Okay. So one of the biggest mindset shifts that I made was this. I stopped asking, what am I allowed to eat? I stopped asking that question and I started asking, what will help me feel regulated when I get home? I want to stay regulated. If everything that you eat is through the lens of insulin resistance and feeling balanced and steady and stable, you will make different decisions based on that input on the front end. Because you're like, oh yeah, I don't want to eat something and then just crash my blood sugar and feel horrible. So now all of a sudden here I am in the middle of a group of people, all these friends that I really do love. And I wanted to spend time with them and we're playing games and I actually wanted to enjoy the games, but my blood sugar is crashing and I feel horrible. Like if you have that happening, then it keeps you a little more mindful of what you're putting in on the front end. Does that make sense? So I'm just telling you. So examples for me are this. Let me see who I'm missing. Good morning, Joan. Coach Kirsten, she says, happy to be here and see you. Happy to have you here, Joan, you doll. Meg, it's 32 degrees in Long Island, New York. Very good. We're kind of matchy right now then. Excellent. Yes. Did you get the cold snap that we had? Did you maybe it's still coming? I don't know. It was nasty. Was so cold, but yep, there we go. We're kind of matching there. Long Island, right? Oh, that's awesome. Someday I'll go to New York and then I'll give you a ring, Magda, and we'll chat. So, okay, examples that I would give. All right. I'm not saying these are all perfect. So no judging, just no judging. Okay. So you know how you go to the refrigerator section of your whatever, like where you would get your whipping cream or whatever. There is, I wish I had one. I haven't had one for a long time. There is an actual, I think it's Ready Whip, and it's a purple canister and it says keto on it. Okay. That is it's yummy. It's super vanilla-y. So if you're looking for something that I don't even know, you could even be making a keto custard or something and then using whipped cream on top, or maybe you just want a spoonful of whipped cream. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm asking for a friend, right? I'm telling you about my friend, not me. But I actually use that sometimes and I'll spray it in my little grandson's mouths and they think that's so much fun and ha ha ha. But it's like having something like that, whatever it is, for you, maybe it's you want coffee and instead of using all the creamer that you normally use, the bad creamer, maybe you spray it with whipped cream. Maybe you take some of the Element electrolytes. Remember, I've talked to you about the sugar-free electrolytes and how they have both of the different brands, Salt Tea and Element. They have the cocoa and chocolate variety, right? And so when you have something like that, maybe that's something that you want to do. That is actually, there's an Amazon faves on my site. If you go to kirstenliebelt.com, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, with those electrolytes, but you can actually heat those up in a little bit of water. And if you think it's too salty, obviously just don't use the whole packet. Be a little careful because it can be salty. And I personally like to get the caramel because then it's salted caramel tasting. And maybe you mix one of those up and yes, you're using it for electrolytes and, Does it make sense that that's healthy to put whipped cream on? Maybe not, but I don't care, right? Like you do you, boo, right? So on my site, remember we have kirstenliebelt.com. Let me just show you where you can find that. So right here, if you scroll up, here is the Amazon thing right here. It's right under the form for Saturday morning. Okay, so let me see if I can find hold on. Here's the salt tea and here's the element. Okay, so let's just see. Let's just go into the salt tea. And let me see if I can find, I want to just give you a picture of the cocoa one. I think I have to actually search it. Salty cocoa. Cocoa Loco, salt Cocoa Loco electrolytes. Okay, this is what it's going to look like. Oh man, it won't pull it up because I'm not signed in. It won't pull it up. But I wish they would have showed all the different kinds. They're just not going to. Oh, there it is. Wow, Kirsten. Never mind. I'm not going to even tell you how easy that was. So this is the salt tea cocoa variety. Okay. So you get 30 of them for $35. So they're just a titch over $1 a piece. That's a pretty cheap drink. A titch over $1 a piece. You're not going to pay $1 for anything at Starbucks, right? And then those are your electrolytes, but you get the caramel, you get Coco Loco and caramel vibes on that one. Okay. And I'm just telling you, like you could do that, put that in warm water, have some whipping cream and be happy. The cocoa of the salt tea is amazing, Joan says. Great hot chocolate dupe. It is. It's crazy that that's true. It seems weird. And I know that most everything I do is weird. You're just going to have to get past the fact that things are weird because they're only weird in our brains because we've been told that there's a right way to think about stuff. And it's just not true. Lynn says, this time of year, it may be progress and not perfection. Amen, Lynn. Amen. Good to see you on here, by the way, girlfriend. Okay, so a Lily's chocolate bar. Now you can do two things. You can go to the candy aisle and get a Lily's chocolate bar. Sometimes I will actually go to the baking aisle and get a Lily's baking bar of the white chocolate. It's a larger in size and I can take off like a couple of things just a little bit at a time, okay? And it will last me a little longer. Or you could be using that as well to melt in your microwave. Let's say you want white chocolate and you want to maybe pour it over like pecans, something like that. Or you want to dip pecans in there or something. Lily's is a good option. There's also another line called Bake Believe. And that is another one. I don't know the variety that's on that one, but you know, whatever. Having unsweetened shredded coconut around. I've talked about this like on my pantry day. Unsweetened shredded coconut. You can get it at Trader Joe's. You can get it anywhere, but you do have to like look for it because most of the coconut that you think about buying, it's sugared. But I like that chewy crunch. You could also mix that with a little bit of, you know, chocolate and sweetener, etc. You can like make your own universe with that. Just saying. Pecans, that's a really good choice. Pecans or macadamia nuts are a really good choice for nuts. Homemade ice cream. I have a Ninja Creamy. That's on my list, but I don't know what the price is right now on that. I love my Ninja Creamy. And right now I have the deluxe. And right now it is, oh, it's actually pretty decent. It's $185.95 for the silver one. So it's actually lower in price right now. But anyway, just saying. So having a homemade ice cream, sugar-free chocolate pudding. We talk about the sugar-free chocolate pudding on that you can make in the blender. Where do I have that recipe? I have so many resources for you today. Hang in there as I kind of look around at my site. So I have, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Okay, so go to my site again, right? Okay, so everybody just stay on kirstenliebelt.com. This will make it easier. So let's see. We're going to scroll past the form for Saturday. We're going to scroll past the Amazon links, and we're going to scroll past my before and after picture. And right down here, there are free resources. The third free resource right here is sugar-free chocolate pudding. And I know that's hard to see. I apologize on Facebook. The lighting is, there we go. That's a little better. The lighting is kind of goofy. But there's the sugar-free chocolate pudding. That is made with egg whites. This is a Maria Emmerich recipe where she talks about how, and then I just tweak it for myself. So instead of doing regular egg whites, I use a pint of egg whites. You can cook them in the microwave or in the Instant Pot or whatever. And then you're using cocoa and vanilla and a can of coconut milk. It's amazing. So keeping something like that on hand is very helpful. Ooh, this is a really good tip. Marilyn says that the Costco has it for $149. That's better than $185. Very good. I like that a lot. Okay, so sugar-free chocolate pudding, keto chaffles. I have not done a chaffle in a very long time, but they have come in so handy for me. You can make them savory or sweet, etc. The other thing that I want to point out is actually on my YouTube, because have you ever, when you do like keto chow, you go to whatever, you use all of the Chex Mix and all that stuff. You can make your own savory or sweet version with using pork rinds. And so when you go down to the bottom of my site now, we're going to go down to the very bottom. So hold on, I got to see what my very bottom, there we go. All the way to the bottom, you'll see this one right there. Join me on YouTube. We're going to go there. And then let's see here. We're going to go to videos. And when you hit videos, you'll see the keto chow one right here. Okay. Actually, I don't want that to come. And I did that in the group a while back, and it will show you both the savory and the sweet. Let's see if I can make that bigger. I can't. But it says savory Chex Mix, quote unquote, and sweet Muddy Buddies. That's what I term that. And it's showing both of them. Okay. So there you go. Right there, and right there. Okay. So those are some of the little snacky things that you could have on hand that I think would be very helpful for you. All right. Moving on. All right. I also don't ever leave the house with kind of a backup plan. Now, this is maybe not so much anymore. I'm thinking if that's true or not. I guess I kind of do, because maybe I'm bringing something already that I can eat. So I guess I do. But like, for instance, I would have carb blocker in my purse or in my pockets. That was, I've talked about that a lot. You can always grab carb blocker when you grab your Total Body Reset online. Just search it. It's there for you. I use that for 3 to 4 years. When you go to eat something, you can have like up to 500 calories of sugar from hitting your bloodstream when you take like 3 carb blocker at the time that you eat. It's all natural. But I lived on that for a long time as I was trying to navigate different things like that. Nuts or seeds are really good to have in your purse, like some pecans, etc., macadamia nuts, something like that. Not because you plan on, binging or anything like that, but because you just want to kind of survey and see what's going on before you, make your decisions, whatever. But here's something I had to unlearn. Bringing food isn't rude. Bringing food that's maybe different, it's not rude or awkward. It's not diet culture. That's not what that is. So you can think in terms of like, okay, you're going to bring something anyway. So maybe you make really amazing deviled eggs and you bring those with you. You can eat deviled eggs all day long, right? And make them you can make them all different kinds of spiciness and fun. And, look that up on All Day I Dream About Food or ketomaria.com or whatever. Look up, like any kind of, maybe some of you even have the piping that you can make them really special and fun, right? Make a dessert from those sites. Like for me, make a keto toffee, make a 7-layer bar, make something that was really exciting for you. How about you have to go somewhere and you're supposed to bring, it's a potluck, and you're supposed to bring maybe a real food, not a treat. Remember in the group this month, we did that tomato soup. That was the easiest tomato soup on the freaking face of the planet. It's still up in the featured section if you need to see it. But I saw it on a reel and I thought, this can't possibly be true. It's amazing. My husband was like so excited. So this lady pointed out that there's a brand called Rao's spaghetti sauce, RAOS. And she said, if you look at the ingredients, they're really good ingredients. They are the same ingredients that would be in a tomato soup. So I picked up the tomato basil and then the marinara. I like the tomato basil better. Put that in a blender with a cup of cottage cheese, whip it until it's very, 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 very creamy. Like probably whip it longer than I even did in the group. My thing was just very noisy. Whip it, whip it, whip it. It makes it super creamy. And then you thin it with, there's a bone broth or a beef broth called Kettle and Fire in Walmart. You can get all of the stuff at Walmart. Everything I'm talking about, I think you can get it all at Walmart. Like this is how accessible everything is to us right now. And that Kettle and Fire, it's just a good one. And it actually has, they have a little bit of a tomato base in there. It doesn't matter. You could use regular beef broth. And I thinned it out with that. It is such a good tomato soup. But what if you brought you could bring an entire slow cooker of creamy tomato soup, and it doesn't have sugar in it, and it doesn't taste horrible, and it doesn't, like things like that you can bring, and you don't even have to explain anything. There's nothing to explain. Like, it's just good. I'm just saying. So, all that. Marilyn, do I have a favorite protein bar? Wow, that's a loaded question. I actually don't do a lot of protein bars. If I were out and about, if I'm on a road trip and I'm going to grab a protein bar at a gas station, this is not a clean answer, but it's an answer. There is a line called Quest, and I don't even know how to spell it. Is it Quest? It might be Quest. And they have like birthday cake or whatever. If I'm going to eat, and I actually, when I do it, because I don't want it to mess with my tummy, I eat only half of one at a time. I don't know if that's a good enough answer. I would prefer, I'm going to be really honest, if I'm going to do something like that, I would prefer to make keto granola clusters. And was that on All Day I Dream About Food? Maybe. Keto granola clusters. I can look that up for you guys. And that I would rather have, because a protein bar is just, I'm assuming they're making it with almond flour or whatever. Well, you could do your own version of, and not even worry about it. Dream about food. I'm just going to look that up, because doing something like and having in your, like in a little baggie in your purse, you can get a more bang for your buck out of doing something like that. Let's see. Keto. Oh, she does have a lot of pop-ups. That's the one downside to the website. Keto granola clusters. I'm hoping it was her. Yep. Keto granola clusters. There you go. All Day I Dream About Food. And you can do something like that. And it really is good. I mean, it is good. And basically you're creating this sheet pan, and then you're breaking it up into sections. So I would much rather have that for extra protein instead of a protein bar. But if I'm in a pinch, then that's what I would do. Okay. Who's talking to me? Hi, Shannon. Good to see you. Very good to see you. Amy, good to see you. Okay. What, the other day I noticed I was missing a lot of comments, and then when I went back, I saw them. So if I don't respond, you can either send it again, or just know I'll see it when I get off. I don't know why it does that. I think StreamYard, because when I'm streaming to Facebook and YouTube, I've got 2 Facebooks on here and a YouTube, I think it just limits, whatever, just limits. Anna, thank you for jumping on my TikTok. God bless you. It's so good to see you, Anna. Thank you for jumping on and like double tapping that screen. You're amazing. Okay, so let's wrap up with a few things here. So between now and January 1st, the goal is not weight loss. Now, if you're losing weight, praise the Lord, like take what it gives you, right? The goal is to not self-sabotage. So let's not just go over the cliff. Okay. You can actually, I put it in my stories this morning, what if you didn't hit January 1st and you're just like, you are living in your stretchy pants because you are so freaking bloated, or you are exhausted because you just trashed your sugars for the 2 weeks straight. And now you want to hibernate like a bear. What if you had a different result come January 1st, where you're like, yeah, actually, I had a couple moments where I did pretty dang good. I'm proud of myself. But again, not perfection, right? But your goal is to just not self-sabotage. So small wins are going to count. Every small win matters. And we can talk about this on our live on Saturday too. Come with your wins. I want to know what wins you've been having. Let's chat a little more in depth, right? Stability beats perfection. Stability beats perfection. Feeling proud beats starting over. Be proud of your steps, okay? You don't need a clean slate. You just need some continuity, okay? You don't need a all in or nothing mentality. You just need some consistency, some continuity, okay? So the season is easier when you don't do it alone. So this is what I want you to think about. Like, what if you grab a friend? What if you grab a group of friends and you say, hey, let's just do something a little different. Let's be a little accountable to each other between now and January 1st. Like, think about how much fun we have inside of this group. Like, what if you grab a friend or a group of friends and you're like, join me on Saturday morning. Let's just get some like mindset. And let's, I've been doing this total body reset, or I've been thinking about it, or whatever. It doesn't matter. But she's going to do a keto lasagna. And you guys, I'm going to make it like, this is for Christmas Eve. I'm going to put it in the freezer. This is for Christmas Eve. Now, I am going to, on Christmas Eve, make a different one. I'm going to have 2 pans. One's going to be for me. One's going to be for everybody else. Okay. But I'm just telling you, and I mean, like, most of my family will just eat both. They won't care. They actually probably won't even know. Just telling you, it's such a good dupe. But anyway, grab a friend, grab a group of friends. This girl community that we've built here, where we cheer each other on and we encourage each other, and we, have the ability to be like excited that we don't all have to walk around with shame and our heads down and all of these things. Like, that's what we've kind of created here. And it's like, so then who is your best friend that you want to join you in this, so that when you guys hit January, you don't feel so under the gun. You don't feel like you're already defeated. Who's that girlfriend? Who's that group of girls? Maybe you are already a part of a group of women in a Bible study, or a group of women, in a mom's group or whatever. And it's like, just invite them all onto the webinar and like create for yourself a little bit of accountability between now and the beginning of the year. And especially if you are the one that has the results. You already have the testimonies that you're sending in to me, that you've lost 50 pounds, that you're off 10 meds, you've lost 14 inches over the last year, your MRI on your fatty liver went from bad to mild. Your anxiety is gone, your constipation is gone, your diarrhea is gone. Like, you guys have the most amazing testimonies ever. You're off of omeprazole. You guys have really good testimonies. Tell a friend and say, hey, this is what I've been doing. And then bring her, because sometimes just doing things alone, it's just not, I did it all alone. Just me and Jesus. I just really didn't have anybody in my world at the time. Thank you, Anna. Thank you. I didn't have anybody in my world at the time that I really wanted to, I don't know. I think I was dealing with a lot of my own stuff, but some of you have already overcome. You are so much further ahead than I was. So grab somebody. Saturday morning, we will do the total body reset in more detail. Maybe instead of taking only a couple minutes, maybe I'll take 15 minutes. We can have some questions. We'll do a keto lasagna. It'll be about an hour, unless you guys keep me longer, which you can. If you have questions and you want to chat or something like that, in that kind of a private environment, sometimes we can be a little more vulnerable. We can ask a few more different questions, etc. It lends itself to a different feeling, is what it does. But we can all then walk into January together. And then don't forget that in January, we will do another 5-day challenge for free in the group. Ditch insulin resistance for women. Don't forget that you have something on the other side of the next 2 weeks that can help you. This is not, accountability police. We're not doing none of that, because that would make it sound like there's shame involved. No shame, none. But this is just like calm voices. When things get noisy, we can be each other's calm voices. Maybe you have somebody in your life that is your calm voice, that you're like, will you just come with me and be a part of this with me, etc. But hold on. Oh, I didn't even know I put my thing up there and left it up there. That's so funny. Let me change that so that I can put the group on there. There's the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Give your email to get in. It's the only way that I can contact people. Otherwise, people just don't get notifications. It's really silly. And then let me see who's talking to me. Aw, you're so welcome. Magda says, thank you for the recap of all the great tips. What can I take to eat on the plane? That's a good one. I'm a nuts person. So to be really honest, I would either, if you have time, this is me, I would make the keto granola clusters and I would have them in a baggie. If you don't have time, I would grab something as simple as pecans, even out of the baking aisle, and unsweetened shredded coconut, because those, you could do unsweetened shredded coconut, pecans right out of the baking aisle, and then like Lily's chocolate chips or Bake Believe chocolate chips, and just have them in a little portioned out baggie that you could snack on. That's what I would do. Either that, or sometimes I like to have cheese on me, like string cheese, or it depends on how long you're at the airport before you get on the plane, blah, blah, blah. If you don't like warm cheese, etc. Jody says, you have been my calm voice for 7 months now. Jody, I'm so glad. Thank you for saying that. Seriously, you know what? This is just about like, I want to be for you guys what I wish that I would have had. It's really important to me because I feel like we have such a hustle culture and such a diet culture. And you can talk about anything and somebody will go, you're body shaming. And I'm like, that's BS. Like, I don't even put up with that. I don't tolerate that thought process. It's like, no, it's called, like, if you don't feel good and your labs don't look right, this has nothing to do with the shape of your body. This has to do with you feeling good and getting your labs right so that you can like have a future, because nobody will be shaming your body when you're gone. Like, this is dumb. So I don't receive any of that. But Jackie says, consistency is key. Stay strong, ladies. I know, for real. Okay, so I am going to wrap up with the total body reset so you can see what I will go into detail on Saturday morning. Like, I have it laid out just a tiny bit different. And again, not much longer than I would go here, but enough for you to ask questions, because again, that's really important. And when we talk about all of these amazing testimonies, you guys, this is where they're coming from. Like, I'm just not going to sugarcoat it. This is what you guys are doing. Okay, so I'm not going to try to tell you it's less than or tell you that it's more than. It's not. It's very simple, 6 pieces. So that's the food portion. The other side of it is literally detailing the inside of your body like you would a car at a mechanic. You've got to change your oil. You've got to change your filter. You've got to refill your fluids. But really what that translates into your life is your liver, your gut, and your insulin. Your liver, your gut, and your insulin. Okay? Like, there's no way. This is biology 101, how your body actually flows, stabilizes your blood sugar, deals with your hormones like cortisol, insulin, GLP-1. This is how we're going to do it. Okay. So this is where I started when I was a 2X in size with just these 3. Some of you only want to start with these 3. Perfect. That's called the trio. You don't have to do all of it. Okay. Now this is less than 100. So this does not get you free shipping and it does not get you the customer campaign, but that's okay. Don't feel bad about that, right? Like, if this is where you need to start, perfect. Insulin, sugars, liver, metabolism. Okay, all in one. 3 times a day, 2 times a day, 2 times a day. Simple Simon. Okay, that's the trio. And if you do not get your insulin down, you can't burn fat. And if you don't get your liver to function, you can't burn fat. and then you throw in a little bit of metabolism. This is where people get help with their A1C. This is where people get help with getting those sugars that are just like really, tugging at you. But I'll tell you, I've had amazing results with just the trio where people are like, I can't budge 1 freaking pound, because maybe you're already type 2, you're already on meds, whatever. But then all of a sudden you work with your body to bring down your insulin, and insulin is the piece of your puzzle that's keeping you. Liver is the piece of your puzzle that's keeping you from burning fat. So there you go. That's a good one to start. It's like a body tune-up in 3 products, Marilyn says. I know. It's kind of really, it's unusual to understand maybe your brain doesn't like comprehend all this, and that's okay too. So, all right. So the 4th product is the gut primer. This is the 6 blends in one. So I did it this morning, every single morning. I put it in my I put about this much water in there. I froth it up. The greens are already fermented. The pre-postbiotics, the digestive enzymes, like stop letting your impacted waste sit inside of your system and ferment. You don't want to do that. But yet the fermented greens, this is 2 different ferments, helping your bile creation, right? So this is where they notice such a difference with their indigestion and their constipation and their diarrhea. And you are literally supporting the healing and sealing of your gut. There's no graininess to it, etc. I do this every single morning. Okay. And then the last 2 are powders. That was a powder. These are powders. Probiotic, 5 strains that are alive. Put them on your tongue. Fat burner, that is a clinical dose of an extract. This is probably one of the most, this is where if you need to see results, like you need, if you were like, okay, I just want one product that's going to help me actually see those results with like losing inches, it's the fat burner. It's the orange pixie stick. Okay. It's a clinical dose of an extract created for the sports nutrition line. So it's meant to reduce visceral fat. And where does your visceral fat live? It lives underneath the fat that you can squeeze. And why is that a problem? Because it's dangerous around your organs and in your organs and around your intestines. And you begin to actually lose that fat from the inside out. So then you're able to measure under your boobs, your waist, your hips. Over time, very common to lose 1 inch a month. Okay. So those are the 6. That's the total body reset. Many of you reach out to me in my stories about it. That's usually where I see a lot of you. Some of you will message me after this, and some of you will just go to my site. So that's how that goes. But the piece that you want to know is, as I wrap up with this, there's a customer campaign where when you purchase 150 or more, remember I said the trio doesn't get you the customer campaign, which is totally fine. Don't stress about that. But the total body reset does. And that is when you purchase 150 or more 3 months in a row. So let's say you do December, January, February, you're going to get $75 off in February. And you're going to get to do that over and over and over again throughout the year. Right now, as a holiday bonus, as a New Year bonus, you'll do December, and then in January, you're going to get $50 off, and then $75 in February. There's never been a better time. So, and I'm just going to reiterate, like if you're grabbing a girlfriend, if you're grabbing a group of women and you're like, let's do this together, I'm telling you, let them know. We can do this for 3 months. There's still another 3 months on the guarantee because it's a 6-month guarantee, which is unheard of, but you are targeting your liver, you're targeting your gut, you're targeting your insulin. This is different than anything else somebody else is talking about. This isn't a prepackaged system from a company. This is me sourcing for me and then handing it off to you. Okay. So you can grab a girlfriend and go, why don't we do this for the next 90 days? And let's just see what happens. Like, what if we feel better? What if our sugars go down? What if our bloating goes away? What if we get off of a med? What if and then fill in the blank? Maybe you do that and you all grab yourself a measuring tape and you measure under your boobs, your waist, your hips. And you can have your own little competition to see who's losing more. Just kidding. Well, you could if you wanted to, but you know what I mean. So there we go. That's the total body reset. And we'll chat with that on Saturday with the keto lasagna. Joan says, thank you for all of these tips. I can be ready for Christmas and the events around it. I appreciate your knowledge and encouragement. You give us all grateful heart. I know, Joan, you have the biggest grateful heart of anybody I know. I swear you do. You're very grateful. You're awesome, Joan. Thank you. You just are so full of encouragement. So, all right. Does anybody need anything? Because otherwise I will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, because that's what we do here. And don't forget to go and jump to, if you want to be a part of Saturday, you can go to kirstenliebelt.com and the form is there. And all it is your name, your email, because it's a webinar. So I have to have your email in order to send you there. So you'll see my face, you go up, there's the trio, there's the total body reset, and then here's the form right here. It's super easy. It'll tell you exactly what we're doing, exactly the time, your name, your email. You can have your friend go to the site. You can do whatever, and make it so that you feel like you're not so alone this year. Make it so that you don't feel like you're just doing this solo all the time, because there's just power in that, power in community. There's so much power. I think that you guys already know that, you feel that. And because we've been proving it here for almost 2 years straight. So that's very good. All right. Have the best day ever on the face of the planet. And if you are doing any Christmas shopping, or you're making any kind of goodies, or, whatever, put on your Christmas music. Did you know that you can go to YouTube and you can pull up Christmas music and they will put on your TV like a fireplace and whatever, and you can listen to Christmas music on from your TV. You can put it on your phone, like whatever you want, but be intentional about just enjoying the season. Julie, good to see you. Hi. Be intentional about enjoying. I've been doing that a lot lately, because I just forget. I kind of get in my zone and I keep doing stuff. And I'm like, Kirsten, turn on the Christmas music. Nobody's going to let you do it in January. So do what is making you, enjoy your season more. And so have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, you guys. Love you so much.